Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are doing our Summerslam 2020 predictions, and I believe they're doing fans, but not necessarily fans due to the pandemic.
Virtual fans like they have in the NBA right now.
Okay.
The Thunderdome!
Of course, we are here with my brother Pyro because it is one of the big four. And we will be getting on to our predictions right away. So starting off with the WWE Championship match, we have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton.
It was almost unanimous that Drew got picked by pretty much everybody to get the win. Odd one out was
the Mechanic
with Randy Orton. I think this is just going to be a really good match. I think they keep it on Drew just to keep the title, just to keep it going a little longer. And with recent events and Rick not being in Randy's corner, I think that's going to play a factor as to why he loses as well.
I also think Drew's going to retain for the simple fact, I think they're going to keep it on him. They could keep the feud going a bit longer and maybe have him drop it off at Payback to Randy,
which is literally the next week. I also find that really stupid that they're doing literally one pay-per-view right after the other within a week span.
I don't know why they're doing that either, so it's WWE.
And Drew has actually had a really good title reign.
All right. Next, we're going to move on to the Universal Championship, Braun Strowman versus the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. This one was also actually just unanimous on everybody picking Braun Strowman. So.
Yeah, it makes the most sense to keep it on him. Give the Fiend, in my opinion, what would be his first official loss as that character, because fuck Goldberg. That's all I'm going to get in on that one. But honestly, Strowman has had a pretty nice championship run. I've been invested in him as champion, and this has honestly been well-deserved.
All right, next we have Seth Rollins versus Dominik Mysterio in his first match as a street fight.
All right, this went 3-2. Myself and the Mechanic picking Rollins. Everybody else picking Dominik. Should be a really good match.
I agree. I chose Dominik as he had said, for the simple fact I'd like to see him win his very first match.
But again, it's Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
With the help of already guaranteed, Murphy's gonna be there, and that can play a factor really quickly.
All right, next we have the Raw Tag Team Championships. We have the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza.
I'm picking Garza and Andrade. This one was 4-1, me being the odd man out. I just personally think it's time for them to be more than what they are. They're really great talent, and honestly, the Street Profits run has been stale as of late, plus it's a nice way to keep the feud going.
I do agree it would be a nice way to keep the feud going, but me personally, I, of course, chose the Street Profits just because I do favor them a bit more than Andrade and Angel Garza. I just was never really invested in those two. Next, we're going to hit...
I was going to say, just because these are predictions doesn't mean this is who I want to win. Because I do want the Street Profits to retain, get a little bit of redemption for Zelina.
Mm-hmm. All right, next we have the Raw Women's Championship, Sasha Banks versus Asuka.
4-1, Flash being the odd man out, picking Asuka.
Because that's his favorite.
Everybody picked Sasha. I just feel like they've been doing a really good job of keeping her relevant and her momentum going as of late. Seeing as, she on Raw wasn't the one... Bayley was the one that got tapped out in their tag team match. And this past Friday, the Beat the Clock challenge, Sasha set the tone, facing Naomi, 3 minutes, 39 seconds, and actually won her match. And in about a 2-minute time span, Bayley took the loss. So I think just the upward momentum for her, and honestly, I think it's kind of stale and bogus that, her first title defense, she always ends up losing her title.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I picked Sasha for somewhat of the same reason that my brother did, where I was a very big fan of Sasha Banks when she had first come into the company, when she was just the nice heel gimmick that they had pulled over from NXT, and it really made me upset when she would lose her title on her very first title defense. It made me very, very mad.
And it extended some of those rivalries.
Way too long.
Charlotte.
Way too long.
Way longer than they needed to be. And with that one being said, we're going to move right into the SmackDown Women's title match. Asuka versus Bayley. Again, I'm picking picking Asuka to win that one. Just because, again, I think it's time for Bayley to drop the title. I mean, 317 days. Longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. So I will congratulate her on that. Really good feat. But she's kind of getting stale. This Karen haircut gimmick, whatever, heel gimmick, isn't necessarily the best fit for her, in my opinion. I mean, it's gotten better. But at the same time, I just feel like it's time to crown somebody new. Yeah. And again, the last week or so, they've just momentum decline, especially on the 2 take-home shows of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And
I chose, of course, Asuka. It was actually a 2-3 with the Mechanic and Mama 4 actually choosing Bayley on this one. I just would like to see the title on Asuka. Not necessarily just kind of keeping Asuka in the title picture, but getting the title off of Bayley pretty much. It's a stale run.
Honestly, this could probably help out the women's division since, they only focus on certain people. Anyway.
All right. Next, we will hit the United States Championship match, Apollo Crews versus MVP. This is actually a 2-3 on this one, so.
I picked MVP along with Flash, just because it's a really good way to keep this feud going. It's actually been pretty interesting, pretty invested, and, I mean, with the fact that MVP came out with his own title, I want to see, if he'll scrap this one and just remake it or what's going on because of his disdain for Apollo. I'm really upset that this did get moved to the pre-show instead of being on the main card, considering all the build-up that you had to it. The storyline has actually been really good. It's definitely main card worthy.
And I, along with the Mechanic and Mama 4, picked Apollo Crews just because it's been a very long time coming for Apollo to even hold the title. So I'm very invested.
He's held it for a little while now, though. And like I said, the back and forth can be good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm invested in just him having the title. I know that when MVP came back, it wasn't hey, I'm actually going to stay here and wrestle, but yet they're throwing him into a title picture.
Well, the original plan wasn't for him to come back full time. It was literally the Rumble appearance the next night on Raw.
And leave.
And then bounce, and Vince, I'm pretty sure, did offer him a decent contract for,
For whatever.
And it was like, because, money talks.
Alright, and lastly we have Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose and no disqualification. Loser leaves WWE match.
Flash was the odd one out, picking Sonya, the other four, me, Mama 4, Mechanic, and this one right here. Picked Mandy Rose. I personally just think it's better if they have Mandy win for a number of reasons. One, this rivalry is really good. Gives Sonya at least a chance to be repackaged because I personally feel that she needs it. And at the same time, considering everything she's gone to in the last week or so, I think it'd be best if she took the L, left for a little bit, and just got into a better headspace. Considering you can kind of tell, if you watch SmackDown and whatnot, she wasn't necessarily all there. You can tell she's distracted from her work.
Yep. And of course, as he had said, we all picked Mandy Rose except for Flash. My reasoning being almost exactly like my brother's, where, I believe Sonya should take the L for the simple fact they just slightly, in a way, repackaged Mandy. She's doing good. She's got the momentum behind her going into this match. Sonya should take a step away from WWE, clear her head, especially with everything that just went on in her life, and just kind of get in a better headspace.
Dude was a fucking creep. Yeah, if you ever find the chance to actually see what this guy looks like or whatever, look at his Twitter, like, literally, and if it wasn't, you couldn't find a tweet that wasn't Sonya related. Either he was retweeting or tweeting towards her, tagging her in tweets, retweeting things that she has posted or things other people have posted about her, but it was literally just
All
her,
Sonya.
her, and I'm just like, yeah, this guy's obsessed. And honestly, though, I feel like the cops didn't necessarily need to get involved, because looking at this guy, I'm almost certain she would have just single-handedly kicked his ass her damn self.
I haven't looked too much into it, but that concludes our wrap-up for SummerSlam for the predictions. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Later.